Signed the declaration. Mitchikanibikok Inik Declaration talks about our undeniable rights, and we have something like that. And I'd like to ask Tellis to come here and read this for me. I think it's very significant and very important for me to show what this is about. Again.
Declaration, Mitchikanibikok Inik. We, Mitchikanibikok Inik, declare that we believe that First Nations, as Indigenous peoples of America, have undeniable rights. Among these are the rights to live, to life, liberty, culture, harmony, traditions, spirituality, self-determination, and freedom. To secure these rights, governments were instituted among First Nation peoples, deriving their just powers from the consent of the people. The people have founded their governments on such principles and organized them to ensure their safety and well-being. That, as a First Nation, we possess these rights and have corresponding responsibilities to be created to live in harmony with the land and to live on the land, honoring our customs and traditions. That we have a customary system of government which honors these rights, our responsibilities to the land, and supports our beliefs. Our government has existed since time immemorial and has evolved while maintaining our responsibilities to the land. That we wish to retain our customary system of government, but at the same time recognize the need to adapt to changes affecting our lands and institutions, that such changes require the consent of the people. That we therefore solemnly publish, declare, and proclaim in the following order. A. Our affirmation of the Mitchikanibikok Inik customary governance code as a codification of our customs respecting governance. B. Our approval of Amendment 1, Mitchikanibikok Inik as a change to the institution of the Mitchikanibikok, and C. Our people of Amendment 2, Mitchikanibikok Inik as a change to the institution of Washikabok. That, for the support of this declaration, we mutually pledge to each other our trust, our respect, and our sacred beliefs. We are united in our wish to codify, update, and amend the Mitchikanibikok as our law for the benefit and protection of present and future generations. Signed, day of August 1986.
Thank you. Now, we had to do this. We had to put it in writing with very much resistance by the elders, because they said that it's going to come back to us. The government's going to use it against you guys to try to change it around, play around with it, and that's what's happening. They're playing around with our code. And they're telling us, no, okay, we have a reversion policy. You guys have to follow that. How can you revert when you're in customs? Reversion policy on customs. Well, I mean, there's two things here. We have a custom, why would we have to go back and, go under the policy of the Indian Affairs? It doesn't work for us. It doesn't work for us. It's a formula, one size fits all process for First Nations across Canada. Okay? That's just appalling. We have our way. Nothing wrong with our way. It says that we do have to modify and codify, change, amend. This is what it is. For me, that's what I really wanted to express, that this is who we are. during the next panel that I'll be speaking, I'll be talking more about what's going on, to try to get recognized with our process of reconciliation. Despite everything that's been happening, the divide and conquer tactics that continues to happen in our First Nation. Problem is, INAC keeps interfering. Take us away from this. Take away my identity. Before I finish, I just want to talk about a little bit about, how the residential school process really impacted on our people. Everybody was impacted by this piece of policy of assimilation, residential school process. I can't even imagine how it felt for a mother to lose a child, to be taken away at 2 years old. That's just plain wrong. We live, our community lives through that. And we wonder why today we're dysfunctional, or people see us dysfunctional. We suffered physical, sexual, spiritual abuse, mental abuse. You see that today, that's the intergenerational effect that's happening. And we have to overcome that. That's why the youth are standing up and fighting for what they believe in. And yet Canada still apologizes for what they've done to First Nations people. Yet they still want to take away our identity. Where is this truthness in that? So we were affected. Our parents were affected. Our grandfathers were affected. We have to deal with that internally through a healing process. Bringing back the medicines that we have, bringing back the teaching, the oral teaching that we have. That's basically what I wanted to share to you today, in this circle that's full of energy, full of life. The life of us and our children, and for us to coexist and to understand each other. Saying that, again, I thank you for coming to hear our story. And I'll finish off within the panel that's going to be happening in a few. I'm not sure when. Later.
Does anybody have questions?
We spent, after the first plenary, in the other room, we were talking about what it means to be an ally. And so, do you have any thoughts on what you see on what you're hoping for in terms of any allies here in the room or in Ottawa or generally, or what you might, expectations, responsibilities that come along with that?
Well, I guess there's lots of ways that the helping hand, the helping that is needed to advocate for. It is about sovereignty, right? We want to educate people. And the stuff that can be done is to write to your MPs, write a journal about it, write something, and pressure the government. Whatever you think that may be useful to our people. And this is what we're here for. We're here to share. And we're here to also get support, outside support. I think it's important. Any other questions? I'm getting hot.
I just want to make let's just talk about before the government stepped in to take the children away. I remember those nights when people used to come back and talk to Ottawa, Barriere Lake, Wawatie, and at least my father and a couple other people would go to Barriere Lake, Grand Lake. My father had relatives in both places. The people, the children they were still following the hunt. And we could go there when they came back in the